All right, Dylan. I don't know who said that. I think it was Wes Ball who compared you with Tom Hanks. And I was looking at this movie, and I had to agree. You were pretty good in that one. Seriously, if
Thanks,
I'm allowed
man.
to say so. But then again, I'm asking myself. I'm an old fart. Having such a comparison with Tom Hanks to me would be kind of a compliment. Oh, really? You think that I'm like that? But for you being that young, does that mean anything to you? Is it like, well, if they say so, I take it.
Well, I mean, it means a lot hearing that. Like, it's Tom Hanks is one of my heroes, and I grew up watching him and loving him. He was, arguably definitely one of the actors I was most exposed to as a kid growing up. He's always been ingrained in everything I do, just because I'm such a huge fan of his. Hearing that is though, I mean, it's hard to it's hard to like take seriously, because you can't. It's so hard to like. I see him as being so amazing, and like, even though that I'm like an actor too, and that I have proved to myself that I can do this, like I in no way envision myself like of that kind of status. It's like impossible. I feel like to think of yourself like that. With that said, though, it's really cool to hear, especially from Wes, who I think is fucking amazing, and it's just it's flattering. Whether or not I believe it is a whole. That's just a human thing. That's like.
At least it's a relief for me, at least to understand it. Even for you, Tom Hanks is still someone to look up
Oh
to.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Um, uh, what I really liked about the movie is like when it came to defining the personality of Thomas, of being him different by
Yeah.
being curious. As an actor, how do you think is it? How do you display that curiosity really as an actor?
Um, just honestly, I think every direction I come from as an actor is like an honest place. I just wholeheartedly believe in that. Unless you're playing a dishonest character, but even then, it should come from an honest place within. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
in a weird way. So Thomas's curiosity comes from legitimate questions that he has in his mind, and he's a smart kid. He's not. He'll come up and he'll ask the relevant questions, and I think even if other kids have come up before him and have thought of them, they've had their fear sort of squash anything. Like they just kind of go with what everyone tells them to do because they're terrified, basically. And I think what I admired so much about Thomas is that he is so aware of the fear inside of himself. Like when this is all happening to him, that he makes a conscious effort to fight it, and because he believes that that's how you conquer it, and and that'll in turn spark something else in you, basically. And the curiosity, it's just it's just an honest thing with him. Those are just legitimate questions that he has that he's not gonna have go unasked, because he thinks that that's regression essentially, and like what he sees around is this world that's just in a standstill, and that they need to get moving a little bit.
Yeah, but also you didn't exaggerate. That's why I also said like I was pleasantly surprised you seeing as an actor, because also it is known that you did your first steps actually on YouTube,
Yeah.
which you keep on doing, because I would believe that now that you are on the big screen that you rather leave that behind, but for some reason you still like to do it like from time to time, releasing some videos, and that's also making you a director right now. Would you say could you explain us why you're doing that, and do you think that the experience on the big screen is also influencing the way that you would do things on YouTube?
Um, yeah, I don't. I haven't made a video in quite a while. Um, but I mean, I think those videos are where I like. That's everything I knew until I started, working as an actor, really, and it all came from just a genuine interest in that stuff, and like just genuinely loving filmmaking and being fascinated by it. And I mean, basically, yeah. If I were to make a video now, I'm always learning something new. Like on set, that's what I love so much about being an actor and getting to work. Is you're just constantly surrounded by people who are better than you in a way. And just so much more experience and so knowledgeable about the thing that you love. So it kind of every day on set, like it's a different. Every project I go to, you learn from someone else, and it affects the way you, I guess, go about your craft as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to that, and also looking forward to seeing then finally your Forrest Gump. Thank you, Dad.
Thanks, man. Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Kaya, you play Teresa, so that means pretty much you turn out to be the Yoko Ono of the maze?
Oh, wow. Not had that one yet. Yeah, I'll go with that. Why not?
Pretty much? Is it that?
Yeah. She kind of gets there and starts stirring some stuff up and is quite angry and quite ready to get out of there. She's not trying to make friends with anyone. She's a survivor, and straight away she's on a mission.
Well, the thing with these kind of movies, these kinds, I mean, like those who were written before in a book series, I mean, of course, is it that we can talk about spoilers because most of the info is already to be found in the books themselves? My question is it that prior, before you accepted that role, that you had to go through all these books just to know, like, the development of that character? Or is it just like, hey, you know what, I just got some free time, I'm just going to be part of this project?
I think it was more... I always do a lot of research and stuff, but for what I read in the script, she wakes up with no memory. And it's not until the second part of the series that you kind of get to know her more and know what her motivations are. So I didn't want to read the books in the first one. I wanted to go into it completely neutral and just experience it with everyone else, because we all have to wake up with no memories. And I found that quite exciting and quite different. You know, normally there's a lot of research that you have to do beforehand. But yeah, I didn't read them first. I'm going to read the second book once I've read the script first. I think I want to stay true to the movie. And obviously sometimes you have to change things from the book. So I want my first experience of it to be what the movie will be. Because
I was kind of surprised when I saw the movie finally that I would have expected the fact of you being the only girl amongst all these boys, that this will definitely fuzz or actually shake things up pretty much more. But it seems that it didn't really play a role, at least like for this part, at all. Or is it my misperception that you would feel like totally this different thing?
I think what it is just, as soon as she gets there, they get invaded by the Grievers that night. So it's very fast. There's a lot going on. And I liked that they didn't try and make it a huge thing. You know, there was no time for that. These kids are all trying to survive. And that's the most important thing the whole way through. So for me, it was important that we didn't try to make that a huge part of the story. That she is just there and instantly she's one of them. Whether she's a woman or not, she's in the same boat as they all are.
Well, it's the 21st century, of course. When you produce movies, when you make movies, of course you always think of a certain demographic. I mean, the first thing that I heard, it's the same producer as for Twilight, so I would expect it to be totally like a chick movie somehow. Specifically, also when you just have guys in that one. How do you see it for that time? Do you think it's really a movie dedicated rather to a female, younger group, or would you say this is the movie for the entire family?
Well,
because I wasn't sure about that.
That's what I really liked about it. I think it is very gender neutral. And from what I've seen from the fans of the books as well, you know, there's a lot of guys and there's a lot of gals. It's not got that one aim to please. It's very much about everyone. And I think what we tried to do was to make every character feel like they could be you. You know, whether it's a guy or a girl, it's just about them being in the situation. There's no romantic storyline yet, because there isn't time for that. It is about getting out. And I think males, females, everyone, we can all understand that feeling, and we can see their need to get through it as quickly as possible.
And could you confirm that story that I read through the production notes, that prior to that production, all of the cast members were kind of a survival camp or trip,
camping.
And then for some reason a storm came up and it was very threatening, and this is supposed to be like the event that kind of brought you guys together.
Yeah.
If so, how easy was it then actually just to divide it again? Because as a newbie, as a green, I don't recall the greenie, coming in there, you must pretend not to know them. How difficult is it for you just to go straight back to it? Because I'm an actress, I can play that. Don't worry.
Well, I think it's important to have a bond with your castmates anyway. Even if you're playing their worst enemy, you're still going to be on set with them for 18 hours a day for 2 months. So it is important to build a friendship. And for me, that's my favourite part of this job. You get to meet these wonderful people. And our job so happens to be that we can be laughing and joking 1 minute and throwing punches at each other the next. But that's just part of our job. That it's easy to do that because that's what we do. But I think it's really important to have that bond from the outset, so that you don't feel lonely. I think you can get very lonely, you're far away from home, sometimes you're staying in the middle of nowhere. Having that friendship and that closeness is the most important thing.
But it's interesting that you feel that this is important to have a certain friendship, because there are also some actors who are known for being like method acting and really being so stuck in their role that they're even like when it comes to the breaks, they don't even want to talk to the other cast members in order just to remain in that role.
Yeah, I don't get
prefer
that. Yeah, I think everyone has their own process, but my first job was on Skins and we were all best friends, so I want every job to be like that. I couldn't see myself kind of ostracizing myself from anyone else. I love the social side of it so much.
All right, and you already signed the option for the next upcoming ones?
Nothing's been signed. We'd all love to do it. We'd all really want to do it, but nothing's completely confirmed yet.
Then time will tell. Thank you so much for that interview.
Thank you very much, darling. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you, Kai.
Have a good day.
You too.
Kannst du mir irgendwas über dich erzählen? Wer du bist, woher du kommst? Weißt du deinen Namen?
Ich kann mich an gar nichts erinnern.
Tag 1 Frischling. Raus aus den Federn.
Was ist das hier?
Willkommen auf der Lichtung.
Wer hat uns hergebracht?
Wissen wir nicht.
Was ist da draußen? Ihr könnt mich nicht einfach hier festhalten.
Ich kann dich nicht gehen lassen.
Warum sagt keiner, was da draußen ist?
Das Labyrinth. Jeden Morgen, wenn sich diese Tore öffnen, suchen die Läufer einen Weg nach draußen. Niemand hat bisher eine Nacht im Labyrinth überlebt.
Was passiert mit ihm?
Wir nennen sie Griever.
Wir gehören nicht hierher. Irgendjemand hat das Labyrinth gebaut. Es wird Zeit rauszufinden, womit wir es hier zu tun haben.
Du bist nicht wie die anderen. Du bist neugierig.
Was ist das denn? Das ist der erste echte Hinweis. Wer weiß, wohin uns das führt?
Ein Mädchen.
Thomas! Alles hier hat sich verändert, seit du aufgetaucht bist.
Was, wenn wir aus einem bestimmten Grund hier sind?
Die Tore schließen sich nicht.
Sie sind hier.
Die kommen so lange wieder, bis sie uns alle getötet haben.
Lasst uns abhauen, auch wenn wir dabei sterben.
Du checkst es einfach nicht. Wir sind längst tot. Bist du dir sicher?
Nein.
Wir kommen hier nicht raus. Sie lassen uns nicht.